This is Michael Carson back with another video. What you're seeing here initially is the Crowne Plaza Heathrow Hotel. Initially, back in 2018, what it looked like before they built the fence around it and started housing the migrants. I'm going to read an article by the Daily Express about how they're housing the migrants in there and how they love it. And one thing, the reason why I'm playing the video is because there is the culture of Sudan. And the culture is, they use rape as a weapon. I did a video about a month ago where it showed the UN via UNICEF writing a 15-page report called "The Crisis of Sexual Violence Against Children in Sudan." Well, they used rape as a weapon for not just girls but boys. Of the rapes that have been reported in 24, there was a total of 221 reported, but most of them aren't reported due to the shame that comes with it. So they didn't report the rapes. So 66% of the survivors were girls, 33% of the survivors were boys, and 16 of the survivors, of the total 221 that were raped, were under 5 years old. You can go look at the UNICEF report yourself, or you can check out the video I made about it about a month ago. I didn't read the report. There's nothing really too graphic in the report. The report is 16 pages long, and you can check it out. But the reason why I'm highlighting it now again, and nobody watched it on YouTube, is they have, in this Heathrow Airport, they have Sudan migrants, male migrants, being housed in the hotel now. And that's why I'm making this video now. I'm going to go over that article by the Daily Express. When I talk about the article, I said that the article is published in September, but no, it was published on Sunday, April 27th, 2025. So just ignore that error as I'm reading the article. I'm not going to go back and fix that. So I'm putting this warning in the beginning section of the video so you know that there's an error on that part. I'm making this video now. I'm going to go over that article by the Daily Express. It's Migrants speak of a very nice life in swanky 4-star hotel paid for by you, the taxpayer. Exclusive asylum seekers are being housed in an upscale hotel in the outskirts of London despite Labour's pledge to end the costly use of hotels. It's written by John King at the Daily Express, and it was done on September 25th. I will play the video here shortly, and you will see the fence that is around the hotel. It's 22 seconds long, and there's no English audio to it. It's kind of sad, really. Okay, now on to the article. Migrants staying in an upmarket 4-star hotel near Heathrow Airport have spoken of being housed in a very nice accommodations as locals slam taxpayers being hit with multi-million-pound bill. The Crowne Plaza London Heathrow off the M4 motorway in West Drayton, Middlesex, boasts 465 rooms, a swimming pool, a gym when it first opened in the public in 2018. There's some videos that you can actually watch and you can look at what it looked like when it was first opened, because it doesn't look like that now, and they have built a wall around it. But instead of paying guests, the hotel is being used to house hundreds of asylum seekers, despite the Labour government's pledge to end the use of hotels for migrants. Crowne Plaza London Heathrow sits in a leafy grounds, is about 15-minute drive from Heathrow Terminal 4. Legoland Windsor Resort is 20 minutes away by car. The Home Office refused to confirm how much is being spent on housing people at the hotel, but analysis by the Express shows it could make £62.8 million over 4 years from paying guests, assuming average room price of £92.50 per night at the hotel, being full capacity throughout that period. But we know that the Home Office has been paying way more than what the going rates for the hotels were, so we know that much. Confusingly, there is a hotel called Crowne Plaza Heathrow T4, but the two are completely separate. The T4 is an upscale business hotel 5 minutes walk from Terminal 4. According to its owner, IHG, the London Heathrow Hotel is 15 minutes away in Hillingdon. And there's a picture of the hotel that matches the Google Earth from 2018 that I had up earlier. And here are some of the asylum seekers that you can see. They're all African in that picture. They're all from Sudan. Rising 5 stories, the building now sits behind a white wooden barrier some 10 feet tall. Migrants were free to come and go when the Express visited, with several million about outside or returning from the town. Asylum seekers Ahmed Adam, 23, Noureddin Adam, 33, Khalid Mohammed, 18, told the Express the hotel was very nice compared to war-torn Sudan, where the 3 friends had traveled from. Yeah, where rape was used as a weapon of war against boys, girls, and little children. You can check out my video I made a month ago about that. Or I can read the UNICEF report if you don't want to watch that one. Leave a comment if you want me to do a UNICEF report on that. Hadish Yamin, 29, said he had been at the hotel for 4 days after crossing the English Channel from France on a small boat. He told the Express the accommodation was nice and had nice rooms. The painter and decorator from Itria said, I'm sharing a room with another man. Every room is full, I think. We have 3 meals a day. We were in France, then came to the UK. We like the language. It's a good life here. It's safe, and there is freedom too. I have trouble with that comment. A fellow asylum seeker who didn't want to be named said that he and his friends wanted to work and didn't want to live off government aid. He said, we would like to work for ourselves. We want to give to our society. While migrants at the hotel were impressed with their accommodations, some locals in West Drayton were totally unimpressed with the government's open-door migrant policy. Norman Taylor, 80, told the Express he visited the hotel when it first opened to paying guests and adding, it's lovely inside. There's swimming pool, gym, a nice big reception bar. Now it's a drain on our resources. And here you have a group of male migrants. There's about 6 in the picture. They're all male. There's no females there from what I gather. He added that we should not be spending money when these people come here. We should immediately send them home. If they came from France, send them back to France. I don't think they should be in here. The retired health worker suggested disused military bases could be used to house asylum seekers instead. Asked what should happen to the hotel, he said, pull it down. Another local who didn't want to be named said the asylum seekers weren't any trouble, but the government must be spending huge amount of taxpayer money housing migrants in hotels. A third local who also asked not to be named said someone is making a lot of money. The latest figures show Home Office spent about £2.28 billion on hotels in 2022 and 2023, and is expected to spend £3.1 billion in 2023 and 2024. Angela Eagle, Minister for Border Security and Asylum, said November that 220 hotels across the country were being used to accommodate asylum seekers. She told MPs the government was absolutely committed to ending hotel use and was looking for other options to ensure better use of public money. The Conservatives pointed to Home Office figures showing a number of asylum seekers being housed in hotels rising to 38,079 by December last year. The number of asylum seekers being housed in hotels by June 2024 was 29,585. Chris Phillip, MP, Shadow Home Secretary, told the Express Labor's promise to stop putting asylum seekers up in hotels is nothing but a shameless lie when the number of asylum seekers being put up has increased over 8,000 since they walked into office. This is a failure of policy, a failure of leadership, and a failure on delivering what they were elected to do on behalf of the British people. This crisis is sprawling out of control, and it's the British taxpayer that is footing the bill because of Labour's decisions. It is time for the government to get a grip. And there's another picture of migrants. These doesn't look like to be African. They look to be actually Asian. Another West Drayton local said he did not have problems with controlled migration if people came to the UK to work and contribute to society, but politicians need to get control of the small boats arrivals. The retired construction industry worker added, "We can't just let asylum seekers languish." He suggested the burden on taxpayer of paying for migrant accommodation should be eased by letting migrants work and pay for their keep. The retiree added, "Our nation has been built on backs of migrants. The thing is, people coming on small boats were welcoming them as if they're guests. That's not right." The 66-year-old said the government should take a harder line on migrants arriving from France on small boats to deter crossings, adding, "Why do we go to the extra mile in the treatment of migrants?" Yvonne Solomon, chief executive of Refugee Council, said asylum hotels have become a clear flashpoint for community tensions and cost billions to the taxpayer. He added, "There needs to be a clear plan to stop using asylum hotels by the end of 2025. We need radical reform of the asylum accommodation system to enable councils to house people in the community. This is cheaper and enables people to integrate into Britain life, contribute and pay their part in our country." A Home Office spokesperson said in autumn 2023 there were more than 400 asylum hotels in use across the UK at a cost of almost £9 million per day. £9 million per day. And in the months before the election, the asylum backlog soared again as decision-making collapsed, placing the entire asylum system under unprecedented strain. More pictures of migrants. And of course, they get protection from the cameras. That is the situation the government inherited, but we have begun to restore order with a rapid increase in asylum decision-making and the removal of more than 24,000 people with no right to be in the UK. By restoring order to the system, we will be able to end the use of asylum hotels over time and reduce the overall costs to the taxpayer of asylum accommodations. There are now fewer hotels open than there were before the election. With more due to close by the end of May. The Home Office said 213 hotels were in use at the time of the general election in July, and by the end of May, they're expected to be 206. Oh, that's a big drop. 213 to 206, give me a freaking break. That's what? That's 7? Did I do my math correctly? I have to actually check in my thing. I don't do math anymore in my head. It takes up too much of my brain power. Yeah, 7. Well, you know, I got it right off the first. By law, the government has a legal obligation to support asylum seekers who otherwise be destitute. They could be sent back home. They don't need to be there. They're not seeking asylum. They're economic migrants. I'm getting tired of them saying they're asylum-seeking migrants when they're economic migrants. BS. The Home Office said it works with local authorities and others to ensure accommodation is properly managed and the impact upon local communities is minimized. Crowne Plaza parent company IHG has been approached for comment, but apparently they didn't comment, and the Express didn't allow comments if you noticed on this video, so that's pretty entertaining. If you enjoyed this video, please consider watching the video on Sudanese culture and how they wage war within Sudan. They rape boys, girls, and little children. So please consider listening to that video that's over a month old, has no views on YouTube, has views elsewhere but no views on YouTube. So please consider watching that video. And have yourself a wonderful day. Again, thank you for watching. Please consider watching another video. Like and share so the videos get traction, and I appreciate it. And have yourself a wonderful day.